So when they're old, right? Like the 3-year-old might not make that connection. The instant, right? Their brains are, I don't think they're already forgot about it.
Carrie sent it out.
Right? Just like
I saw it. I didn't print it.
She can say.
I can look it up, but
It was sometime
a couple
complete.
times.
yeah.
The fear of it. Right. As soon as you get
But-
out.
Why you gonna bring some up on
No,
there?
no, they're here for that reason.
Oh, for,
Yeah, they have copies of the ordinance. And I told him that he's been cited, as you already knew that, but apparently one of the police officers told him he's driving on a suspended license.
Yeah. And he's
Uh,
like,
they have a problem with that.
holy.
Police officers should not be sharing information about any resident with any other resident. I don't-
Right.
As I told.
Yeah, okay.
Look,
allegiance to the flag
Grant us, O Lord, light to our understanding, prudence in our investigating, foresight in our planning, sincerity in our deliberating, the grace to follow truth in our judgment. Help us to be moved in our decision, neither by fear nor by self-interest, and to do our work faithfully. May we respect the authority vested in us, for thou art the source of all authority, and may we use it in our directives for the common good, for the honor and glory. Amen. Call the roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce, Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick, Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad, Mr. Thompson.
We open up for public comment. Please come up to the podium. You have 3 minutes to speak.
I just want everyone to know that if you want to sign a petition to do away with our property taxes, no matter what county you live in, please see me afterwards.
Debbie,
Okay?
can you state your name?
Oh, I'm sorry, Debbie King.
People who don't know you.
Yes. My name is Debbie King and I live here in Timberlake. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment?
Rodney Connolly, 47 East Shore. Just a question about our favorite subject, taxes. Are we ever going to get work city credit? Rita charges me 2% to live in Timberlake. I also pay 2% to the city I work in. Cities like Eastlake give you a work city credit to compensate for that.
Okay, we'll take that into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, moving on. Reading and disposition of the minutes. We have a motion to approve the regular council meeting from June 17th, 2025, please.
So moved.
Mr. Joyce makes a motion.
Second.
Mr. Conrad seconds. Discussion on that? Any corrections? Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad, Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, do I have a motion to approve the council work session minutes from July 15th, 2025?
I make a motion?
Samara makes a motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Thompson seconds. Any corrections or additions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce, Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to legislation. Resolution number 2025-26. A resolution, third reading, a resolution declaring surplus personal property and directing the fiscal officer and authorizing all actions necessary to affect the sale and or credit value of the same and declare an emergency. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Sir Joyce makes a motion.
I'll second.
Samara seconds. Discussion? None heard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Next is resolution 2025-37. A resolution authorizing the mayor to promote certain police officers of the police department and declare an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
So
Make a
moved.
motion?
Mr.
I'll second.
Mrs. Marr makes a motion. Mr. Joyce seconds. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Okay, do I have a motion approving resolution 2025-37, please?
So moved.
Mrs. Joyce makes a motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Joyce seconds. Discussion on this? We had an opening in our leadership team of a sergeant.
So kind of put an acting sergeant in place. Corporal Lawrence was put into place of acting sergeant. And to be honest with you, I've been kind of blown away by his level of his effort that he's put into this department. And especially in this position. I mean, he's representing us anywhere we want to go. He was just recently at the Lorraine officer's funeral as well, representing us, and actually made the news by making a comment as well. So he's really done a lot, just completed FTO school for the department as well. So It's been a great addition, is actually doing, right now in the background, it was doing some packets for victims' rights. So, anytime we deal with encounters like that, the victims have certain rights. So it's been my recommendation and, for us to promote him to officially as a full-time sergeant for the second shift.
Backfilling corporal position.
No.
Okay. No. Next is resolution 2025-38, please.
Did we vote on that?
We didn't vote on it. We just suspended the
We
rules.
didn't
Right.
vote.
We need to vote on that.
Mr. Joyce,
Emphatically, aye.
Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson. Aye.
Now we
Okay.
clap.
Now,
We'll clap, okay.
Okay, thank you. Next, resolution 2025-38. Resolution authorizing the mayor to hire Officer Dominique Green as part-time patrolman of the Timberlake Police Department and declare an emergencies. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please? Mrs. Mara makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Joyce seconds. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson. Aye.
Thank you. I have a motion approving resolution 2025-38, please.
Move to approve.
Mr. Thompson makes a motion.
I'll second.
Mrs. Joyce seconds. Discussion on this?
Dominique King was actually a fellow academy classmate of one of our other officers, Justin Kimmery. He recommended her into the academy, to the department. She came in and she's been truly, she worked our little festival we had. She came and spent the day with us, not even sworn in yet at the department, and she volunteered to come out and really has brought up a lot of great ideas that she has as well. She's looking for one of our difficult positions of night shift on weekends. So we're looking forward to have her and to really train her into her next step of her career. She currently also works full-time for Cleveland Heights Municipal Court. So she's got a little bit of law enforcement experience. This is going to be her first and hopefully her last law enforcement job. So we're welcome to have her. She like I said, I was blown away when she came and worked with us that day. She fit in. It was like family, and it was for us, it was a blessing to see her really interact with all the officers. And Sergeant Lawrence and I interviewed her and spent quite a time, putting her through the ringer of what we expect from her and everything else. And she's right now we're blown away. We're looking forward to getting her on the road as fast as we can and training her the right way to be an incredible officer.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson. Aye.
Okay, thank you. Welcome. Next resolution 2025-39, resolution amending the permanent appropriations for the village of Timberlake for the year 2025 and declare an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
So moved.
Mr. Joyce makes a motion. Mrs. Mara seconds. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson. Aye.
Thank you. Do I have a motion approving resolution 2025-39, please?
So moved.
I'll
second.
The motion. Mr. Thompson seconds. Any discussion on this?
Just do what's for here. So we're increasing operating supplies and materials in the police department by a couple $1,000s. That'll give us some additional funds to buy ammo and some other operating supplies for the rest of the year. We're also going to increase motor vehicles in the police department by $5,800, and that's for some additional funds needed to install computers and other items for the upfitting of the new police vehicle. And then we are looking at increasing equipment in the police department. That would be necessary if we do decide to purchase the security cameras for the police department, beach, and the park. And then the last one is Fund 4202, which is our fund for sidewalk construction. we're looking at increasing engineering services from $15,000 to $75,000. And this is primarily to account for memo receipts for ODOT paid engineering fees. So in other words, we receive money through ODOT grants, and even though we don't receive the money directly, it still has to be recorded as an expenditure. So I did ask Verdantis for the estimate for the rest of the year, but they didn't get back to me. So this is a rough estimate.
This is just an accounting
Right.
line item.
It's a memo receipt,
Okay.
but it has to be recorded for auditing purposes. So,
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad, Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, resolution 2025-40, reading. A resolution authorizing the mayor and fiscal officer to enter into service agreement with Targeting and Solutions Limited for traffic violations enforcement services and declare an emergency. Next is resolution 2025-41, first reading. A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter an agreement with the Lake County Board of Commissioners for central dispatch communication services and declare an emergency. We need to suspend the rules on this, John?
Not unless you'd like to. I mean, it doesn't go into effect until January
26.
26th. So
Okay,
we could do
We'll leave
3
that.
readings.
okay, thank you.
Could I ask a question? I know that we're just on first reading, but, what are we paying now, John?
It's about 28,000 a year, 27 or 28,000, and it'll be going up to 31,000 and change next year. By the end of the 5-year period, it'll be up to about
50,
56,000.
yeah.
So it's a significant increase, and it's any community that uses Lake County Dispatch is basically saying the rates double over 5 years or close to it.
And for that next gen 911.
And it's mostly because of the next gen 911.
So the one that can send out, you can send to it via your phone.
Okay.
It's all cost of that infrastructure upgrade being implemented now.
Okay. Next resolution 2025-42. Resolution authorizing the mayor to hire Officer Daryl Smigleski as part-time patrolman for the Timberlake Police Department and declare an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
So moved.
Joyce makes a motion.
Second.
Mrs. Mara seconds. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Do I have a motion approving resolution 2025-42, please? Mrs. Mara makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Conrad seconds it. Go ahead.
Daryl's been in law enforcement for 12+ years, formerly as a SWAT member and as well as honor guard for the city of Parma. So brings a lot of experience. Also looking for night shift, which is, emphatically something that we look at. So for me, I've had a lot of that discussion with him. One of the things I'm trying to do is hopefully we can make it work, but trying to get him as a member of the West Lake County SWAT team. So Timberlake will actually have a representative on that SWAT team. Brought up about the honored guard. I've been trying to push that for about a year, and he's like, absolutely. He enjoyed doing that. So we'll finally have the 3 members available for the honor guard. He's really looking forward to being here. He brought his 4 beautiful young daughters with him to take part in it. And they didn't even know they're going to have chocolate cake afterwards. So see, but Daryl's going to be a great addition, brings a lot of experience to the department as well. He definitely is going to be a great addition to our night shift.
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick, Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Okay, congratulations. Next resolution 2025-43. A resolution authorizing the mayor to hire Officer Anthony Lombardo as auxiliary patrolman for the Timberlake Police Department and declare an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
So moved.
Mrs. Joyce makes a motion.
I'll second.
Joyce seconds. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad, Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Do I have a motion for resolution 2025-43, please? Mr. Meyer makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Conrad seconds. Discussion.
Anthony's been referred to us by Sergeant Krebs. They grew up together. Anthony's spent the last 5.5 years working for the Summit County Sheriff's Department as a deputy sheriff. But unfortunately, with Summit County, you spend your career, the beginning of your career in the jail. His decision was, I want to be a police officer. That's why I went to the academy. So approached us, he's also I believe Army veteran, correct? Served the United States. We have a few Army guys in our department, Justin over there in the back as well, a couple tours. So, always looking for veterans and other officers to come join our field. So he's very eager. We had a lot of great conversations of what he's looking to do in his career. And he, like I said, he has to go from basically day one to start learning how to do traffic stops and everything else because he hasn't done it. So we're looking forward to him. And if he doesn't work out, we'll just blame Sergeant Krebs.
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick, Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad, Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Congratulations.
$25, $37, making part-time with regard to. That was my bad.
Okay, so
We
Yeah,
did it.
John knows. Which one?
Yeah, we read it.
Justin can read.
Yeah, we,
Yeah.
another one?
Okay.
There was 2 on there.
I didn't speak enough, so my
We're good?
apologies.
Hang on. Yeah,
Part-time volunteer.
Emery and.
Yeah, there
were
a couple on the.
Yeah, we're good.
the
Sorry. We're good.
Resolution for.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, that was resolution 37.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
You want to speak about them? Or-
So I'll speak a little about Justin. Justin also, he graduated out of the academy, highly recommended from Joseph Christopher. Justin is, I believe, did a couple tours overseas, has come aboard and has been really eager of learning law enforcement. Actually had his first felony traffic stop, the other day. Guy was actually wanted out of Indiana, and believe it or not, Indiana actually they're going to come get him. So he taught me something new the other day too, because there's certain paperwork that we have to do for out-of-state transport. So I'm like, thanks. But Justin has been really eager to continue to grow his career. He's already signing up for courses, additional training. We push out a lot of training to our officers to get them as up to date as they can on everything. And there's certain officers that keep soaking this up and taking more and more and more, and he's one of them. So, I just put out additional training today that that's free. And I'm like, free training. We love free training. So, so we're looking forward to promoting him to part-time, and now I'm putting on more shifts.
Okay. Next ordinance, 8-2025. First reading, an ordinance establishing chapter 317, speed and traffic enforcement program of the codified ordinances of the village of Timberlake and declare an emergency. Okay. Next, mayor's reports. Just want to say we had a great time on Family Fun Days. The parade was a success, and I just want to thank everyone who helped out, mainly the village club. So did a great job on all that. So, again, nothing else to report. I mean, we had a couple water main breaks, pretty major ones. They had the road shut down here on East Shore for a while, and we had another one actually on Owasso the other day. So, if we do get it, we have a number for the Cleveland, for the water department, for Lake County Water. It's on our website. So if anyone does see a water break, either call one of the council people, or call myself, or just call the water department directly for those. Okay. All right, we'll swear everyone in next. So take a break.
Intermission. So they can go enjoy cake and family. They can go and enjoy their cake and family and not hear us drone.
I didn't hear.
Lake County.
Yeah.
It's on the website, right?
Western Lake County, Lake County Department of Utilities.
Utilities for all you do.
440-918.
We drag the hats out of here. Every
440-918.
Joe by, where do we go? Oh, up to Osborne Park. There's.
Right on the front page of our.
You got some pull over.
Standing there.
You got some pull over, ain't for some. Eight minute way back.
Picking up that one.
Today?
When was this last?
You know, I did, it's pretty something. About 2 years ago.
Cause you make one a little.
Rookie number.
So old.
No, I really did. Brandon, you okay? Absolutely. I've been like that. Huge. You fish our first brother?
Get out of the way.
I can call him, sorry, I can call him, sorry, too.
Or.
Brandon.
Or it's a standing there. for
Here's what?
Yeah.
Good.
You need to sooner than later, so there's personnel, so don't forget. I have a purse and I don't forget. Put it in there.
No, they, where are the other ones? Nancy.
He's in there, with my firefighter.
Have it all. I ran the words. Songs. That was support the station. That was part of the United States. I got stationed. All the North Department, so. Look at the wood, no right meetings. I'll bet. During my continuing, inside office, so help me God. Oh, look.
You can bid on. Reach down as much as you want. Get some band-aids. I got it. Well, yeah, okay. I got a break out.
Okay. Absolutely.
I see a lot.
Brandon's gotta sign it.
Yeah.
Why don't you get a sign that?
Yes.
Hey, King, you're up next.
No, Justin is.
Oh, never mind. Justin, you're up next.
You gotta sign those.
It is. Oh, okay, thanks.
You can take one of them.
Thank you. Thank you. This one says on my phone.
They're all this, yeah, I need,
22.
yeah,
Your finance, right?
yeah. And then,
I just want to redo some of my mission.
oh, okay, yeah, just let me know.
Okay, thank you. If you have, can we have paper signed?
No, I think he already filled out paperwork.
Okay.
Yeah. Other than,
You're different.
I already have paperwork for him. Yeah. You filled out a folder before, didn't you? That's what I thought. Yeah. You can keep one and then take two of them. Yep.
Hold your conversation while these are being read, please.
Laws and ordinances. Village of Timberlake. And I will faithfully. Honestly. And impartially. Discharge the duties as patrolman. The Village of Timberlake Police Department. Of the Village of Timberlake Police Department. State of Ohio. To my said office. So help me God. Sure.
Perfect. Now we'll do a group photo as well. I'll be standing next to you, she's fine.
Trying to get little.
Right.
I know.
And so, can we grab her bag real quick?
My nephew.
Okay.
Just grab a bag right now.
Daryl.
Sorry.
Now, you have that.
Location.
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Hold on.
Did you sign your paperwork, right? Okay.
Did she sign her?
She didn't sign the letter.
Yeah. Where did those go? No, wrong one.
Yep, I saw exactly his name.
No, you had green out. Yeah, I don't know.
With this one.
That's the wrong file. It should be 3 of each.
Okay.
Oh, wait, there's one. There we go. Mystery solved. Keep that one.
How long till you're?
Yeah.
Anything else, Huntress?
No, I think you got him. Oh, wait.
Thank you.
It's only a number.
There we go.
Oh, down a little bit out there. It was rough earlier.
Yeah.
Hey, girl, stand over here. Here, are you taking pictures? All right.
Hi, girls. Hi, girls. Of the Village of Timberlake Police Department. State of Ohio. There might be. Sure. You got it. Or daughters will kind of.
Sounds.
That's good. It's usually tricky though. Should have group photo. Come on, little one.
That's should be signed, so you can keep one and then I'll take two of them. Thank you.
That's the bad ones. Not bad stage.
Here's this one, and this is yours.
Way smarter.
So in case you want to get paid.
Way smarter. Think higher. I know.
No, he's good. Sure.
Did you want anything?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I was right. Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, congrats, man.
Anthony, sign this people.
Sign it. Patches.
Really? Oh, great, thanks. All right, cool. I'll send you the information on there. Is that cool? One of those, one of those.
You can keep one and then just you can give me the other two copies.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Probably stevia or monk fruit,
And
which is
employee
natural and zero
paperwork.
calorie,
Thanks.
but it tastes very similar to real Coke.
You got it memorized yet?
Organic.
I can't do fake sugar. It's Stevie is
Even
the
stevia?
better than most, but it is so sweet. Like, yeah. Like this extra sweet. Or they just have like candy.
We'd like some cake, there's cake out, you sit out in the back. Yes, join some cake.
You can stay for our boring meeting. You're welcome.
Yeah, no need to stay if you don't want to.
I'm just letting you
Yeah,
know.
get out of here.
Yeah. That's why we did that.
Exactly.
Bye.
Thanks.
It's coming.
Thanks for supporting.
Exactly. So I got the, we'll lure them out.
Hey, Debbie, just make sure what county you're in. Make sure what county they're in when you get them to sign it. Oh, yeah.
I gotta sign it. I'll sign it.
Yeah.
Hey, way too much.
Yes. Are you holding anybody or they're all good?
No, they're all good.
Yeah, we're all good.
You can give them a tour, Lawrence. Hey, what's it?
Is there anything else going on?
Thank you, Mayor. So. Thank you. There's. It wasn't a very busy month, in the respect that not a whole lot got done, but there's a number of issues still existing. Just talked to Councilman Conrad. We're still dealing with the East Lake sewer issue. I know we've had some discussions about that. In the past, Law Director Clammer, I had asked him, since I hadn't been involved last year, to, in addition to our conversations here at council, my discussions with the mayor, just to bring me up to speed on their end. And late last week, he forwarded a package to me that I will forward on to council for everyone's review. The short of it is we're still negotiating with East Lake, trying to get that bill finalized, I should say. And then I'm looking at it and looking at that agreement that had been signed back in 2008. It's coming up on 20 years. It may be a good idea to revisit that agreement. But I think the biggest hurdle is finally just resolving that bill. We had talked last time we were here about updating the Village Hall rental, which I've been working on. I should have that finalized for Councilwoman Hardwick. My hope is by the end of the week, and she can review that. And like I said last time, I don't think we need to amend the ordinance. I think as long as we just amend the agreement, update the agreement with some language that not only protects the village, but just brings it up to snuff, we'll be fine. Mayor and I talked about there's a resident, and I guess we can open this up for discussion, about like a nuisance abatement. We talked about that a bit at the last workshop. As I discussed with the mayor, some of these larger cities, municipalities have full-time service departments, full-time, and in those departments, those building and housing departments have a number of employees that make it much easier to hand out nuisance tickets and enforce nuisance tickets. I don't necessarily know if that's something that the village needs to take a look at, but I did bring Euclid's ordinance with me if anyone has any questions on that. The grass, the weed, yep.
Does it say anything about front yard versus backyard or both yards or whole property or?
I believe it's just the nuisance, the grass has to be a certain length. I know that there's some deference given in the spring for the first cut. I don't think it's anywhere written, but I know the inspectors are.
Do the inspectors go into the backyard to see what's going on, or?
They will unless the homeowner specifically tells them not to, but they will. Yeah.
Okay.
It's fenced and not visible. You can't by
They
law
can look-
go
they can-
into it, right?
I do not believe that they'll open a gate and get in, especially if the gate's locked. But if they can peer over the fence, they can
See it, yeah,
Yep.
It's a chain link fence then.
correct. Or on a corner house where you can just visibly see it, but I think it's always best practice to not walk on someone's property without their permission,
Right.
No.
given that.
And I know sometimes, I don't know if they'll admit that, but sometimes a neighbor, that may be the complainer, the complainant may give permission to come out for the inspector to come on their property, and then they can peer in the backyard.
Right.
Through that. So, but again, I just think a city like Euclid, it's much different than the village of Timberlake, just with the respective enforcement. They just have a larger department. That's basically it.
Is there an easier way than certified letter or a way to clarify the language that burden of? proofs
Well,
they
Euclid
certify-
doesn't even use certified
Right.
mail. They just come out and tag the property, which.
Yes, and is that something that would make enforcement on our end easier? So we don't have to have Gary Gray or the mayor write a letter, certify mail it after multiple times stopping at the house and just tag it. Be in compliance by this date, or We can even hire a company to come
I-
cut, like we do for tow services, have a
I
contractor.
think for the notice, for the actual notice for the citation, for the nuisance, cut your lawn within 48 hours or
Yep.
we're gonna have it cut and you'll be charged. You don't need to send that. Yep. Euclid does not, and I know landlords have issue with that because not that this is a landlord issue here in Timberlake, but the landlords never get notice of. Tenants don't give the landlords the notice, and next thing you know, you have a fee on your fine on your property tax bill.
By tagging, do you mean like a door hanger, like something that goes on the door? Like what exactly do you mean by tagging?
Euclid just has, it's basically, they just stick it right on the door.
That's what they do with the garbage cans too.
Yeah.
You had mentioned that about the garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one right here as an example.
Do we ever want to go with that as well?
I think, but
They have at least 10 inspectors, I believe, that do that, yeah.
So the mayor and council.
I don't think the mayor does.
No,
I don't
But
think-
that's,
for sure.
that's my argument is as elected officials, we really shouldn't be the one.
No.
I mean, in council for sure shouldn't be enforcing the ordinances and the resolutions we pass. It's, ends up falling to you just because of the size of the community. But, if we get habitual complaints and, I mean, I'll use this one as an example, just loosely, but you go out 4 times and they still don't comply, then you gotta, send a certified mail, as our ordinance states. I believe, can we make the enforcement side easier? And then if we get habitual complaints and a courtesy knock from us or you or whoever, Gary Gray, doesn't work, then we have something to enforce it. People can still not comply and then never pay the bill, right? There's still work to be done on our end, but just make it a little easier so it's not a free courtesy calls, a written note and then a follow-up and then going just to do it ourselves for free of charge like we normally do.
So this is becoming more like a work session discussion rather than a formal council meeting, but we do have service department employees that mow, the boulevard, that's a lot of hours. That's a lot of mowing. Why can't, if someone's yard is really ridiculously out of, growing out of, proportion, why can't we just say, hey, Brent, why don't you go mow that yard? At least the front yard, and then bill them $200. Like, why can't we do that? Well, I agree, but part of the argument was we don't have a large enough department, but we do have guys mowing grass, so I don't understand.
Well, again, I familiar with Euclid just because I live and do a bunch of work there. They farm that work out.
They do. They don't do it. The city does not do it.
They don't do.
It'd be like our bid loans.
Right, but the contractor has to get paid from somebody, so you would probably pay.
City
them.
pays them and then the
And then they bill
city
it.
will bill it. If they don't get paid, that bill then ends up on the property tax bill.
Now. the
Would
one
have
of
to
the-
be, in order to do that, that would have to be in an ordinance.
Right.
One of the other things that was brought to my attention, this is, I'm assuming we're talking about the same situation. Apparently, this resident has a, out of date or unlicensed motor vehicle that is stored in their garage. And we have an ordinance that prohibits the storing of unlicensed motor vehicles. In garages? It says, except as provided in for other regulations, inoperative or unlicensed motor vehicles shall not be parked, kept, or stored on any premises, and vehicles shall not be at any time in the state of major disrepair, disassembly, blah, blah, blah. But they're citing that as he has a vehicle, whether it runs or not, I have no idea.
Is the vehicle in the garage?
The vehicle's in the garage.
Behind the house.
What's that ordinance number?
302.8.
So people can't work on vehicles in their garage. They can't refurb. I'm not talking like having cars on blocks and in driveways, but like in their garage, they can't refurbish an old car.
It says that, painting of vehicles is prohibited unless conducted inside an approved spray booth.
I would I'll take a look at that ordinance, but I would say that, if it's in the garage, I think we'd have a tough time. I will look at that ordinance.
Especially if the garage door is kept shut. I mean, it's what?
You have the number on the ordinance?
Yeah, 302.8.
But I do think cleaning it up to make the job of future mayors, zoning inspector, whoever's tasked with that responsibility, making it easier to enforce it, will go a long way. Doesn't mean we have to use that power. And if they have a hardship, I mean, we're pretty reasonable council, at least to date, so.
Well, the mayor's been very reasonable with this current situation.
Well, I would say a couple things too. You know, we're talking about a ticket for long grass, weeds, things like that. And when I say ticket, not a citation where they're gonna end up in Willoughby Municipal Court. This would probably fall under a nuisance as well, which I know Village has an ordinance for nuisance. I think that would fall under it. So there could be some criminal liability as well. But that being said, as Councilman Thompson just said, and speaking with the mayor, I think he is, given this case that we're discussing, I think the mayor is handling it the right way. He's been over there a bunch, but I do think in these circumstances, I think he's using common sense.
Yeah.
I think he's doing a good job with that.
We'd all follow that same track and help
And
thy
there's
neighbor.
that trailer at Rio Wasa. It's sitting there,
They're waiting on parts, yeah.
so am I.
Now that.
I'll swing by again tomorrow.
Yeah, in the front yard. It's held up by bricks, other tires, up
That-
stacked on each other.
Does the village have an ordinance specifically
It should be licensed.
prohibiting that?
I think it would fall under.
Oh, for long
that.
vehicles, yeah.
You think?
It's got to define, is it defined vehicles, Jerry?
It says, well, unlicensed motor vehicles.
Yeah, it's not a
Now-
motor vehicle.
Trailer.
I don't know if a trailer has to be licensed,
Yeah.
so is that
I think there's
considered, I throw that to the chief, is that
There's
considered a motor vehicle?
I don't believe it's not gonna be considered a motor vehicle. There's no motor on there.
There's
Okay.
the boats, RVs and motorhomes ordinance, which is another.
Oh, yeah, and that's
recreational
not,
vehicles.
they didn't do the research for me on that, so.
The village may have an ordinance.
We do.
About unlicensed trailers, just because we passed, Lakeline passed one, and I believe I used Timberlake's.
Okay,
I borrowed some of Timberlake's language.
yeah,
Yeah, and there's, I mean, if
There-
the boat's not even licensed or registered, that's not allowed. If
yeah.
the trailer or the RV's not, and, under the right size and all that, so there's definitely an ordinance on that, and it's another one.
Now,
How long have
The
you
other-
given them to receive the parts?
I will follow up tomorrow. They said they were supposed to be ordered. I'll give her another week to remove it. If she doesn't remove it, we'll just tow it.
It's unsightly.
I agree.
It's just not.
The other thing that they brought to my attention is that they believe that, the overgrown backyard, and this probably fits into the nuisance stuff, is, attracting, pests.
Pests are everywhere.
Well, no, I know, but they're saying that they've seen raccoons and skunks and.
That's nature,
So,
though.
Well,
I've never seen a raccoon since I moved here. You kidding?
oh, I see them.
You said I was your raccoons here?
You go out at night?
Oh, well, they
And
could-
Yeah,
Dog.
yeah, dog.
Oh, that's right. And that dog sounds mean.
My
backyard, there was up 9 pair of ties.
She's a bird dog.
Okay.
Okay, moving on, Ms. Hardwick. I'll report, please.
I've gotten, 3 estimates for the pavilion here and the pavilion down by the, schoolyard playground. And, so I have our 3. If you want more, I'll make some calls, but I have one here that I found it,
We'll
and that'll make 4.
we'll review them this week and then present the next council meeting then. Okay. Mr. Carnes?
And my question after that is, we have $40,000 in the budget. from accrued money. If this goes as high as 8, having the 2 roofs done and whatever, that leaves us 32. I know we want to put a roof on here, but at the end of this year, we'll put in another 20. I want this floor done. This is disgusting.
Go for it.
We have wedding receptions in here. We have
Baby shower.
baby showers. We've got bridal showers.
Graduations.
And it just is,
We'll have to get some estimates and samples.
yeah,
We'll start working on that.
gotcha.
You talking about the carpeting and the?
No carpet. It's gonna be all LVT,
Laminate.
LTV,
Okay.
LMFO.
It's easier to pick up.
Oh, it is. And
Our color.
this would be a fairly easy one to lay out because you don't have any nooks and crannies, you know?
But yeah, the whole thing though.
Yeah.
That's what you,
I'm open to that discussion for sure. Get that done.
okay.
Hmm?
Yeah, right. winter
Yeah.
comes up.
Yep,
So,
okay.
all
You
right.
need 3 of those too? Yeah,
We actually have a
Good idea.
floor installer also in the department.
you need a driveway. I'm sorry.
We didn't get to them yet. You know,
Mayor, do you think if we got the flooring, the service department / volunteers would be able to lay a floor like that, or would you rather feel more comfortable using a licensed and bonded flooring?
let's get 3 estimates. Okay, next, Mr. Conrad, you're up next. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Keep it brief as I can here. Lot to update, but I'll give the short version, and if you have questions, just come see me. The environmental review was approved today by the Director of Department of Transportation, so that is phase 1A, I'll call it, of the sidewalk project. So the second phase or 1B, I'll call it, is the kind of preliminary design. Haven't, to be honest, haven't had great luck getting in contact with Pete. He's a busy guy these days, but others within Verdantis have been working on the environmental review part. So I will place a call to David Mock, our project manager at ODOT District 12, to kind of get an update from him. All those emails kind of came through today, so I didn't have a chance to reach out and get a more firm timeline and where we're at relative to the kind of scope that we put in place. So I'll follow up on that. Hopefully have a more in-depth update next month. The playground, I did reach out to Taylor at DWA Rec. He owes me an update tomorrow on the updated timeline on delivery and get us in contact with the installer. So it's progressing. I would expect late summer, early fall, and expect that new swing structure to be in there, or at least ordered on its way and in our hands, awaiting time slot from the contractors to come out and install it. And then the storm sewers, we met with the EPA weekly now. We're getting close to fulfilling our obligations for a nomination checklist. The Ohio EPA to get access to their state revolving fund to primarily low to no interest loans, so we can disperse the burden of the design phase over a length of time and offset it with income revenue that we get specifically for stormwaters, sewers. Found out by talking to Tim Miller, so the Director of Stormwater Management in Lake County, that we are a partnering community. They actually handle kind of the EPA regulations that were put in place in the Clean Water Act and keep us in compliance with that. So our $42 stormwater assessment goes to Lake County. They use about 5 to 10% of that to manage the compliance piece with the EPA, and the rest is earmarked for Timberlake, for capital improvement projects, maintenance, etc. So we have about $80,000 roughly sitting there that is ours to access for these types of programs. So it was a pot of money that previously I don't think we knew existed, or how much had existed in that kind of account. So that was a nice stone unturned So happy to find that. And then we'll continue to work and meet weekly with federal EPA as well as their contractors, AECom, that were out and did kind of site reviews and gathering data with flow monitors and doing hydraulic monitoring and all that. So we will have a more finalized plan eventually. But we're just trying to get on that nomination checklist by August 31st so that we are on the list for the Ohio EPA. They also said that small communities like ourselves, sometimes smaller grant programs come up. So we will be able to apply for those or have access to those once we get on that list. So that is progressing nicely. And I will continue to update on that. And then one last thing is I did talk to the gentleman, I know we were on first reading, but since it's fresh in my head, about the traffic enforcement camera that was put on first reading today, as well as the resolution or ordinance, I should say, that was put on first reading today. But the calculation that I was questioning last time when we had our work session, 900,000, some odd figure that was in the presentation that the chief shared. So they take the ODOT, how they calculate that, which is actually pretty clever and conservative, in my opinion. Take the ODOT numbers of total vehicles. 1% of those are the total fines. The gentleman said that most municipalities actually use 2%, but he feels more comfortable with 1%. They also don't use 365 days of data. They just use 305 days of data. So it's actually less than 1% that they're using as a calculation towards the total violations that would be expected. They also will send out a postcard because I asked, when he's also a mayor of another community and has it. So he kind of has both unique views on it from the business side as well as the local government side, but he will send out postcards to every household and put 2 classified articles in the local newspaper as part of the program. So the word will get out to our residents and make them aware of the program. The money split is they use 40% for the administration, billing, collections, enforcement side of it, and then 60% would come to the village. So it's a 40-60 split. And then kind of the rates of payment, which is always something I was curious about 40 to 45% pay on first notice. Send out a second notice, you get up to about 55%. Then if you count everything, second notice, collections, etc., you can expect about 60 to 73% payment on those total amount of violations. And last but not least, 10 mile per hour over is standard for a road, residential road, like 35, 25, etc. We had interstate, they usually set it at about 14 over the posted speed limit. So it was just questions I had that were kind of unanswered, and I thank the chief for giving me the gentleman's number. He's more than willing to talk to anyone, text, email, phone. So if anyone else wants more information, you can either let me or the chief know, and we can try and get the answers, or just connect you directly to him. Very reasonable guy. So
How many cameras are we considering?
Possibly 2.
2, 1 each way, I guess, would be the preferred.
So they'd be on Lake Shore?
Correct.
Correct. And those are just mounted, right? So not the handheld. That will require the time of
Right.
officers. So
Oh,
the
yeah.
thought is, free up the time from them running radar and constantly having to stop speed violations and focus on, other violations, presumably, or DUIs, other more hazardous activities.
Who moves the speed sign that we have now?
We do.
We as,
The village, we use the NOPEC grant for that.
yeah, but it needs to be moved somewhere else. It's been there too long already. Nobody speeds from Lake Shore to Waban.
I
You
think we
can't-
moved it there for residents to complain, so.
Well, okay.
We've moved it around, so if we need to move it somewhere else.
Put it on East Shore, right?
Well, then, yeah, just let us know. Me, the mayor.
All right,
we
move
can
it.
move it.
By,
Give me, I need the
By 9 o'clock?
address so I can put it in the system so we continue to track it.
What's your address, Cindy?
Right.
you can put it in front of my house. I don't care. Debbie doesn't care.
Debbie can address the second public.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Oh, and then they left, but maybe just for the record, what's his name? apologize.
Connolly?
Roland, yeah, the Conley's about the local income tax. I concur that 4% is a lot. I get that bill from fine lady Rita every year. Also pay 2% to the municipality I work and 2% to the village. And there is no reciprocity, which was what he was referencing. The way that the larger communities get away or can afford reciprocity is they also have businesses where they collect income tax, so it kind of balances itself out. Unfortunately, we don't have any businesses, or very few. I guess there's probably some small at-home businesses that generate some revenue, but I'm sure it's minimal if they even use Timberlake as their business address. And we used to have a 0.5% credit that the previous administration and council rescinded. And when we look back, we realized that we had to go back, force the legislation that was put in place, and then just never talked about changing it. But I think it's half of our revenue per year, generally, something like that, or more.
No, I'd have to ask Rita again, but it's not actually as large of a percentage as you would think.
Okay, of our total general fund
Yeah.
revenue. So it's that and property taxes are only
But-
two main sources.
But income taxes generates more than our property taxes.
Yeah, so it's our,
But that the actual credit, as far as what percentage of the income taxes that is, it's less than I would have thought.
okay, but it's a big piece of our.
But it's still a significant amount.
Yeah, then we'd cut over half of our budget if, well, we'd be affecting over half of our budget, any we do offset that. But I'm all in favor for cutting them myself. Bills.
Probably.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess I concur. It's a painful one to get, but when you see where the funds go and how fiscally conservative we've been over the years, it goes a long way. But I can't disagree that it's a painful bill. Probably second worst one I get each year. First one's property taxes. But those go away, then that's really our only source of revenue. So yeah, right. So all right, that's all I got. Thanks.
Okay, to just duplicate what the mayor was saying with regard to Family Fun Day, good turnout, hot day. It was, if I could change one thing about it, it was hot, super hot. But the officer that was sworn in tonight, she was there at the table. I didn't remember her specifically, but then again, there've been a lot of faces that have come across. She it was like she had always been here. You know, it was absolutely amazing the way she interacted with people, not intimidated by new folks at all. I thought she was terrific. And really all of your officers for that, you know, the police benevolent thing. I talked to Officer Nagy, and she told me about the bowling outing, and that it's terrific. I think it's, you know, it's that sort of personal connection. You know, in the past, we had one person running around handing out dog biscuits, and it's just so much different than how they're still handing out dog biscuits, but it's so much different than how it was. I saw Sergeant Lawrence now in here after our event. We had a bridal shower for our future daughter-in-law, and he had come into work and he was sick as a dog because he had allergies. He could barely breathe, but he was here. And we dropped off the remainder of the cake from the thing, and he took it and was appreciating it, but I don't think he could have tasted it, you know. So anyway, we just, what's that?
If there's extra cake, give them
Drop
away
off?
for us.
Okay, all right.
It'll be right by the speed sign.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, right by the speed sign. There you go. Okay, with regard to trees, we are sort of in a fortunate situation here this year. Now I know we had some expenditures this month because you had, the Yoders out here to take down, what, 5 trees, was it?
Or
4 trees, okay.
$2,800.
2,800, okay. So that would take our total up to, roughly $9,000. A little over $9,000 for the year on a $22,000 budget. So at the end of, July, we were at 29%. We're probably in the 30s now, but still, you know, we're doing, if I could find some wood, I would knock on it, but, I hate kicking sleeping dogs. But 7/12 of the year, we were at 29% spend on what we had appropriated. On trees, heard from a couple of residents regarding trees. One, I met up with Ryan at a resident on Shawandasi, who had a branch that had broken off and got stuck in the wires. And the wires apparently were owned by Spectrum, but Spectrum refused to do anything about it. And thank you, Mayor, for coming out, getting the ladder and climbing up there and
Did he have his
being the
sandals?
hands-on guy.
Did
that
he have
you-
his sandals on?
I didn't actually see him do it.
Flip-flops.
Flip-flops,
I
I'm
think
sorry.
I think he had shoes on this time.
Did he?
We didn't need a ladder, we just used pole saw
They
this
had
time.
rubber bottom.
And, we made Riley lug it out to the curb, so
Okay.
we, child labor's.
Child labor, yeah. We don't
It's a good thing
Jump
that,
through.
I didn't do it. I would have been tempted to nick the Spectrum, wires, but, you know, I think that because basically they took the attitude that it was not their problem at all, you know, and I was disappointed in that, but, you know, I got AT&T now, so I can't really say much.
You showed them.
There's, there was a conference call, that Nancy and I had with a resident, regarding a tree that is in his neighbor's yard, that he has determined is diseased. He has a friend who's an arborist, that assessed that, and I asked him for a copy of the report. I haven't seen a copy of the report. I doubt that the copy of the report exists. But both Nancy and I explained to him that at the imaginary property line, he can go straight up and cut everything off of that tree going this way. Apparently, this is sort of an example of an ongoing argument that they have. He has a shed that, is not in the 5-foot easement that you're supposed to have against the property.
Neighbor, right?
Yeah, and, she has said to him that she will cut down the tree if he moves the shed. He doesn't want to move the shed. She doesn't want to cut down the tree. So I'm not real sure what we can do about that. It is just neighbors being neighbors, I guess, right?
The shed is on his property.
Shed is on his property.
Yes.
Well, we assume so. I don't have a surveyor.
It's surveyed. There's a stake there.
There is, okay.
Yep, and he mowed it. I told him to mow his right on his property, which he did, and it's clearly on his own property. So
Okay, but is it 5 feet off of the
It's about
property line?
5 feet off, yeah.
Okay, all right, well then.
It's all legal.
His
there's-
big thing
okay.
is he wants his neighbor to remove 2 trees on their yard that he thinks will fall on his house. And I said, well, you have air rights. If they're gonna go over your house, you have the right to cut those, the air rights. But they feel that no, their neighbor should do it.
I mean, the
I
only,
can't force a
So,
neighbor to do
the
anything.
biggest problem is they're live, the trees are live. I mean, they're not dead trees.
Yeah.
You can't force someone to cut down a live tree. If it was dead, it'd be a different story, but,
Can't force them to cut down a dead tree, can you?
I believe so, yeah.
Well, yesterday, as a matter of fact, I received a email from a soon-to-be new resident. He's moving into the village, at the end of the month. His name is Eddie Lagucki, I think, Lagucki, could be Lagucki. He is an arborist. He's moving into the village. Now, it says, I will be moving into a home on Shawandasi Drive at the end of the month. One of the reasons I chose Timberlake is the significant tree canopy throughout the village. I also love the fact that there is a tree commission. Trees are so important for our mental health and keeping our neighborhood at a comfortable temperature throughout the summer. I am reaching out because I am a professional arborist and horticulturalist with my own tree and landscaping consulting business. I am an ISA certified arborist and tree risk assessment qualified, as well as a major native plant enthusiast. I do not do tree removals. So you won't.
Take
Yeah,
it
Those
out.
trees, he's not gonna remove them. Go
I
ahead.
work in the space of tree preservation. I would be happy to contribute to the phenomenal tree canopy that makes Timberlake special. And I would be happy to consult with the village or residents on tree-related issues for reasonable compensation. Look forward to getting to know the community.
There's the caveat.
Ah,
As long as it's good for to the village.
Well, I don't know what he considers reasonable, but what I answered him back and I said that I invited him to come to the meeting tonight. If he was in the neighborhood. He's obviously not here, but, I told him that, I would welcome the opportunity once he was settled to get together with him and possibly invite him. Maybe we'll have a tree committee meeting and invite him, get to know him a little bit, find out what sort of rates he would have. I'll present that to council at a later date. So that sort of fell in my lap. I'd
Yeah,
like
but
to
you're-
say I'd take credit for it, but
Basically your neighbor, it must be the house next to the house we went with the tree. I think that
no,
house
it's
is-
down the other end.
Oh, there's another-
What does he say? It's 50. I thought he gave me the number.
Is there another house for sale?
I didn't notice.
I
one.
guess,
But
yeah.
Margaret walks the neighborhood more than I do, but did you notice another one? The brown one, but is there one down the other end? The
No,
higher
there's not.
numbers? I thought it was like 54. Okay, anyway,
Never mind.
so we'll find out all of that out. And then finally, earlier in the last month, I think, Mr. Ganakis sent out a sample of a short-term rental policy. And obviously, we haven't talked about it tonight. I don't know. I like some of the aspect of that. Obviously, it would have to be reconciled with what things are already on our books with regard to that. But I think it's a sensible presentation and one that I would support adapting for the Village of Timberlake. So for what that's worth. Anyway, that's it.
Is there a deadline for that legislation or just fear of pending state legislation coming?
Nothing is passed down in Columbus. I believe they're still on recess. They're coming back next month. But that is the fear that if a municipality, village, township passes an ordinance effectively banning short-term rentals, then they would be grandfathered in if the state were to pass something down the line where, I don't want to say allowing them, but trying to regulate them.
So would we want to get that at least on first reading for next month?
It would have to be, the way that it's written right now, it's for that other municipality. So it would have to be modified, it would have to be reconciled against what ordinances we already have on our books that, because right now it refers to everything in the other municipality. So, I don't know if we have anything on the books. Okay. Pertaining to short-term rentals.
I don't believe we do.
I don't think we do. Councilwoman Hardwick sent out, Kirtland just, their planning and zoning commission, I believe, recommended to ban the short-term rentals. I believe Kirtland was having a meeting on the 18th, but I did not see how that turned out to have citizens come in. I know some cities are not choosing to ban them. I don't believe Willowick is going to do anything. I don't think Perry is doing it. But I know Mayfield Heights has, I believe Eastlake did in June. And now Kirtland sounds like they're going to do the same. Shaker did it in June. Mayfield Heights even made it a criminal offense to offer up a house as a short-term rental.
Wow.
So,
Right.
About Lake Lane.
that's going to be discussed in September, yes. So,
I have a follow-up, and Mr. Mason, this is the only thing I wanted to talk about too. I had a question about him, so this is a good time to segue into it. So, I read that article about the Kirtland, and it sounded like someone, I think a council person, had said that they're not necessarily completely against them, but they want to act before the state acts, because once the state acts, hypothetically, how the legislation is structured now is then we as communities would not have any say. It would just restrict our ability to say something. But if we were to place restrictions, like complete restrictions, complete ban, only because we don't want the state telling us what to do, sort of like the sidewalks, you know? If we did that, the way they made it sound in the article is that then you could go back and loosen it up. Could you though? Because if the state comes down and saying you can't modify anything to do with short rentals, are you able to then loosen restrictions after you completely ban them?
right, that was either the council president or the chairman, Mike Dank, who said that they would peel it back like an onion, you know, get the ban in place and then go back. That's a good question, because effectively you're banning it, and then if something does come down from the state, could you then still modify your legislation? I'd have to get back to you on that. Where they're coming from is once that is passed, then they've beaten the state to the punch on the initial ordinance. I would say yes, but I would, don't hold me to that. I would like to
Right,
do some research on that.
It's hard
Is
to
the
say
state gonna
that the
allow
state
it or
is.
ban it?
right. You don't know what it's
My
gonna be
understanding is
eventually,
the short-term rentals have strong lobby, and that the state is, if they did anything, they would permit it.
Okay.
And legislation will come down where municipality could now then effectively ban them going
Right.
forward.
Well, we could ban them and then we can always permit it later, even restricted or even a limited permission. also.
That's the question, rolling it back.
Yeah, because I rather give them limited also, because again, we can't give them full, but we can give them limited because of our neighborhood, the way it is.
In the village, do rentals have to be registered?
No, not at this time.
Not at this time.
Talked about doing it.
So that would go back. I don't think there's anything on the books on
No.
any rentals.
I think we have like 9% long-term rentals. And I believe we only have one Airbnb right now. Across the street here, the gray house.
And I don't think, I can't say for, I don't think Euclid has banned them. I think they've regulated them. So,
And I tell you what, I mean, except for a couple times, I guess they had a few big parties, and then a couple times the garbage cans. But whenever I do, at the beginning of the year, they had a problem with the grass, but as soon as I sent them an email, within a week, they were out there, they cut and mowed it, and actually they've been keeping it very mowed and very well maintained this whole year, so. I can't say, I mean, they're maintaining it pretty well compared to a lot of the other residents.
Yes, I say they're usually better because it's.
They wanna
more
make
profit,
money.
They want people to
But-
come. It's gonna
Yeah.
look good.
But the problem is where the rest of the residents, where we're having a problem is because the residents can't afford it. Why? Because their property taxes are too high. They just got hit again. And I'm gonna keep bringing that up because the property taxes are killing everybody. It's killing the seniors, the limited income. I says, our neighborhood looks like a dump because people they don't have the money to fix up their houses. Because God forbid they don't pay their property tax bill, okay, they'll be homeless. The government will take away their home. Yeah, I had to do my little rant.
So-
I would just say, but a community like Timberlake, the flip side of the coin of banning them is it's a lakefront community that people could have the short-term rentals and make money on them.
Yeah.
Because it's a desirable.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Kirtland,
they can't.
Bayfield
get
Heights,
They can't. get
King
down
Heights,
to-
it's off the,
If they rent a lake house though,
Oh, okay.
but if it was a lake house.
if it was lake house.
Well, there was a home on the lake that he started, I bought it, and he did Airbnb it. And they had part of the Airbnbers there, and honestly, There was not one issue at all. I mean, not one, so,
We moved in for
It's-
full time.
yeah, now he's moved.
These bans in my opinion, are being done because you hear the stories, the horror stories about
Noise. and-
a parent renting a home for a weekend, and then there's just for 3 days, an all-out bash of hundreds of people coming in and disrupting a community.
But we have a police department, that we have noise ordinances,
That's,
and we have other ordinances that basically violate those ordinances. That's what we're
which
doing.
is what council has to do. Can council, can pass regulate? Are there checks and balances in place to where that horror story wouldn't happen?
Yeah, and we could, even charge a fee for a B&B or something, and then if, found in fault of whatever our legislation or regulations are, we can rescind the license, right? Then they can't have a B&B if it becomes a party house or a couple.
Yeah, there's-
We have the other problem though, that yes, this is a lakefront community. However, only those people who live on the lake have access to the lake. Unless you're an owner. And if you're an owner, then you have access to the little beach that we have. If you're not an owner, you have no access. So the Airbnb across the street, not immediately on the lake, those people who rent there, they can look at the lake,
But they can't go
they
down.
can't go down.
Well, there was another one that was further down the street that had it in their, write-up, the Airbnb write-up of it. And I think we worked on that.
Yeah, we took it off.
Yeah.
It's no longer an Airbnb, that person.
Yeah, they moved in too, yeah.
But, when they find out also that, there's no direct access to the beach, why would someone want an Airbnb in here, because again, we're not really that convenient to anything either.
Well, I can think of a reason for an Airbnb. We have a lot of family that's out of town. We don't have the capacity to have everybody staying at our house. If they could rent the place for a week or whatever.
That's
And
great. Yep.
Yeah.
You got one here.
We've done that. And
yeah,
Okay.
so, yeah, well, that's right.
Yeah, I heard they like to hop the fence.
Yeah.
They weren't my family.
I know.
Which is-
So your friends are worse.
And I don't want to cast any aspersions, but Chief was on duty that night, before he was the chief.
See, yeah,
I was looking at over that way.
So if we're gonna do anything, it sounds like we should have something by September. So Terry, if you feel passionate about it or want.
Well, I'm just thinking that, we ought to take a good look at it and talk about it. Because I know that it has raised eyebrows for people, around here. And, I think that, it needs, it would bring again to the forefront this whole discussion about whether renters should have access to the beach. And there's a court order that exists that says that they don't. So, it's it's something that we probably ought to address at some point, and maybe just to get ahead of, and if we have to peel back the onion, we peel back the onion. But at this point, we're sort of at the mercy of whatever comes out of the Ohio Congress. So,
That Kirtland article also mentioned that you had they used 91 days after something passed in Columbus to counter that in municipalities.
You'd have a variance.
Yeah. So would you be able to have something for first reading or discussion by
Yeah.
next council meeting?
No problem. It'll look very similar to.
Yeah.
state rates.
Or Kirtland's even, whatever Kirtland's
We're
proposing?
I'll take a look at all of them.
Okay. And based on our conversation, I guess you'd find what's probably reasonable for us. Go from there.
Yeah.
Cool.
okay, that's it. Sorry.
Margaret.
Just two very small things. One was, it seemed to me that we were kind of late putting the mulch down on the playground this year. Is that right?
Yeah, we were waiting on the Milta to get the mulch. They didn't have it.
It looks nice.
It does look nice.
When did they put it down?
I think
Right before.
right before Family Day.
Yeah, right before Family Day, they had to get it in, but yeah, I called them 2 weeks prior and they didn't have it, so.
Yeah. like special treated mulch. It's not
Yeah,
just like
it's
run of
not-
the mill that
it's-
they
You
make.
can't
it.
get slivers. If you fall on it, the kids won't get slivers with this. And that's why it's special. You can't have. It's made from a soft type of wood, so.
And this is even probably a smaller thing, but it came up at Family Day. And maybe John Roskus, you can explain to me. The village has distributed candy in the parade and, you know, what you can see is people line up, the kids are all prepared with their bag. And the village club decided it was not going to do it. And then we were going to do it, but then we apparently didn't have funds that were available to do it.
The village club might have been able to it might have been able to purchase candy and then ask for a reimbursement through the NOPEC grant because it would have been for the community event. That was my suggestion.
Except they didn't want to do.
When they-
I
they-
I didn't get a response after that.
Yeah, they.
Whether they,
Pay for it. But the NOPEC grant paid for it, right? The $1,500 we give them.
so if
we
you,
give them.
if you had purchased, if the village club had purchased candy and then given me a receipt, then I could have written a check to the village club.
So how do we avoid this next year? If the village club is not willing to do it, is there a way that we can include it in the budget for next year?
Council could include a separate line item for events
That's what I'm
and then
thinking.
pay for the candy.
Council can get reimbursed through the NOPEC too. It's not just for the village club. If we are doing something as the village council or village for family days, right?
So long as it's related to the Family Day community event, yeah. Or
Some
a
kind of
related item.
Social event.
Like,
No.
No, 500 usually. No.
so
So if we wanted to put on something, is that possible? If we take part of it, as long as it's
So
special event.
when I fill out the grant paperwork, I usually say that it's all going to be used for family day, but you could have it used for multiple events or items.
So we could, pull from that grant too then for candy.
Well, I mean, that would have been related to Family Day anyway.
Yeah.
So,
sidebar real quick, we do need new barrels for the grill next year, so potentially use NOPEC funds for that. If it's not gonna be donated, or a new grill,
We'll find some barrels.
or an actual grill. But
We just-
I don't wanna take your time, but just thinking about if there's unused funds that they didn't use or don't plan on using, rather than throw an event as the village council or Timberlake, we buy equipment to be used for the village club events that we help participate in, like upgrading the grill.
that I'm uncertain of, since
Kenny's a
it
good
may have to
idea.
be
I
linked
actually went to
specifically to
Costco
the
before
event.
that. If I would have known that.
But there's also the NOPEC grant that.
I was like, I
know,
don't think there'd be that many kids.
Way to
there,
spin
so.
sustainability.
There's actually more
Put a
Wi-Fi
solar
stations
panel
out
on
there.
top of
Yeah,
the barrel.
solar panel grill.
But I should
Go
give
like,
good alcohol beverages to the adults, candy to the kids.
Right.
Be one hell of a party.
fire, yeah,
It'd
the
be a hell of a
airplane
party.
shots.
Thrown out a police car.
So,
One for me, two for you.
so bottom line is, we can address it in the budget then, or?
It could be if council wanted to approve funds directly for it. In Perry, they have a line item like operating supplies and materials, but it's specifically for events and strategic planning. So they use it for things like Fish Derby and Memorial Day and things like that. But it would have to be approved specifically for that purpose.
What they would take away the money from, right?
Or the association can do it.
There you go. But
Yeah,
here's, well, we got something else planned for you. Here it comes. You're gonna talk about, who's up next? Hold on.
Oh, come on. Look.
One last.
Go ahead.
And I know we talked about this in the past, just what an upgrade the, park benches are. And, I just wanted to, the outsiders have meant to me as well. What a beautiful thing it's been. And the village, and I just wondered, is there any way we could maybe, do a, I don't know, a commendation or something? Like that?
A proclamation
Yeah,
for a 5-year
recognizing-
pause.
Just for work and sweat and all the rest.
We do, in other words, the artist who did our benches, can we do some sort of proclamation of citizen of the year or something? A proclamation be written up for beautification of the village.
I would think we could do
for
that.
his civic contribution.
I don't know how you write something up like that.
I think we have a template.
And then ask for.
Did you write the last one?
Pardon me? Jerry wrote the last.
Yeah.
I wrote the last one.
ChatGPT.
I can take a shot at it. I don't know how to spell her name, but you know,
While we're at it, we should do another one also, I think.
Yes.
Or that guy, right there, Mr. Roskus. I think he deserves one.
He had the audit from the state audit.
Yeah.
That's the big one, right? Or was it the?
It was, well, that was a agreed upon audit, but still.
call it John Roskus Junior Day in the village. That
Yeah, it was a clean bill of health from the
Yeah.
third party. Which I
Excellent.
don't
Right,
think.
there was very little that they,
Yeah, which I don't think is always the case or has always been the case.
Yeah,
Those
oh, he just
might
needed
be
a new
other
committee chair.
officers, so. Well
I can't tell you
deserved.
how many pages of first roll, the first year. Yeah, great job, John.
thank you.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Okay.
Moving on.
This is
Village
Mara.
Hall did a great job, on the family days. And, but we need more help, don't we, Cindy?
Yeah.
Cindy, who was the previous president, knows how much hard work it is. I watched Laura, Lavelle and Natalie and Nadia. It's a lot of work and we're not getting enough help and, not getting enough participation, if you ask me. Chief, what a great thing you guys did, the Benevolent Society. You guys really rocked it. Great booth. People talked about it. People, how out there you were. Yes, it's not just being said, it's been said often, how much safer everybody feels in the village. Absolutely. Thank you very much.
I just want to mention one thing while you're on Village Club and needing help. Because they don't get any, except a handful of people, there will be no Halloween party
Right.
this year.
Because last year we only had like 10 children and an unbelievable display. I mean, we had a display last year of like a haunted pavilion. And the mayor put up like 10, which were inflatables that were just, were you there? How big the inflatables were? You were there, Kevin, right? And it was great. And we had like 10 kids.
It was really nice, and that's a shame. We brought our son, and he
Yeah.
enjoyed dancing around with all the balloons and everything. He had a blast.
Right, right. So they're not going to have it this year due to lack of interest and lack of help. And family days, I know it looks all fun and nice. It's a lot of work. It's a really lot of work. So we need more people to get involved in the Village Club. And then we also have things that we could do things better for the parade. And in such a litigious society where everybody wants to sue each other for doing things, Miss Hardwick had brought up the beach, what's it called? Euclid Beach Rocket Car, correct?
Euclid Beach car, yeah.
Is that rocket car? Okay. And we wanted to have it, but we were told by our insurance people, correct, Kathy Rice, that we were insured to have it. But on the side of caution, I guess, the Village Club got a little nervous and they said, no, we want to be written onto the policy. I don't know what she actually meant by that.
Additional name insured.
And the person that had the rocket card said, you are insured. I mean, I am insured. So Mr. Joyce had a great idea. What about that rocket card next year?
I think that should be another thing that we put into our activities that we put in the budget to hire the rocket car for the family fun days. That would be that along with the candy would be the village council contribution to the family fun days. And if we can get reimbursed from NOPEC for that, that's great. If we can't, well.
Because it would be council's donation to do something like that. And we're insured, right, as a village. I don't know what they thought that someone's going to fall off the rocket and then sue the village, but Kathy Rice said that we'd have been covered anyway. So I don't know, this world of being, everybody's so sue. You know, the one year I wanted to bring in Boy Scouts to help, rake the leaves and so forth. They're like, oh, no, what if someone gets hurt? I'm like, well, Boy Scouts are insured. Our hands are like this now on family fun days. No bounce houses, no rocket cars. It's getting ridiculous now. So what do we do? So if council, John, could have some sort of budget to make things a little bit more lively on family day, that'd be great. That's what I'm talking about. And Jerry brought up the idea of the rocket car or Cindy's idea, and then you would like to take it forward, right?
By the way, I think.
I would even like to have a hayride for
Yeah.
for Halloween, but
Yeah,
everyone goes, no, what if someone falls off the hay? I'm like, oh my gosh, forget it,
Next year, But I have to say that, you know, we set a high bar this year because we had a brand new police cruiser in the parade.
Yeah.
Now that's gonna be the thing. We're gonna have a brand new police cruiser every year.
Good to me. Yeah.
Police bike.
And,
you know.
oh, and I'm still a little miffed that Miss Hardwick got the first ride along in the new cruiser.
Wait a minute, now tell
Was she in the
why
back
I
this
was
time
in
around?
it.
They were taking- That's right, they were
Was
taking
in
it in
it.
the slammer.
She was caught in the back seat, yes.
So the final things with the family, excuse me, with the Village Club, once again, thank you for all the hard work. October 11th is the BYOB clam bake. So please get your forms in to the metal mailbox adhered to the brick next to the right of the glass doors. Have to be very specific of where your Village Club clam bake
Left
or
of the glass
is it left of the glass doors?
What's the deadline for that?
Is a week prior. We set a Sunday, October 1st, I think, the deadline.
I thought it was earlier.
I can't have it in front of me.
Is it already in the Times or will it be in?
It's already in the Times and it should be in the Times again. It should be in the Times again. So that clam bake went up a little bit in price, but everything went up a little price.
Page 2.
So October 11th, you know all about it. It doesn't have to bring your family and friends. Doesn't have to be Timberlakers. Just bring everybody you want. But let's get them in. And it's a little bit colder than usually in September. I think it's kind of nice in October. Feels more like a clam bake. They do want people want a fire. We will have a bonfire if people stay because the it starts at 4, so it's dark. What by that time of year 7:30. So it'd be nice to have a bonfire out here. I think Jen Trick is the one who already donated the wood, and we'll have a bonfire after the clam bake if people stay. That's it. Thank you.
That was it.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about short-term rentals, but I think we fleshed out that conversation quite well. I wish we could hear more from the community. Only a few people like to talk in our community though. So I don't know, but but I mean, I feel on the one hand, we don't want, just like the sidewalks, we don't want the state tying our hands and telling us what to do. So we want to act first. On the other hand, I believe in property rights and we shouldn't be telling people what to do with their property, especially when it comes to revenue. But I do believe in a community, residents have a right to have a say. That's why we have zoning laws. So someone can't, in the middle of our village, set up a scrap metal business. You know, no one wants to live by that. So we all have a right to say what kind of, you know, neighbors, what, you know, an allowance of what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do. So it would be nice to hear from more people about that. Chief, which officers went to support the fallen officer, Sergeant Lawrence, and was there another one or just? Did we compensate them for that?
A short amount.
Okay, good. I'm just making sure we did, because in the past, when we've had such instances, we always want to support our officers for making a showing and doing the right thing and doing that. So I was just making sure that we did that.
We never did it. Never mind.
Going somewhere always.
That's all.
Okay, great, thank you.
Hey, real quick as a follow-up, I did get an email on the thing. It's gonna be on the playground swing structure. It's not gonna be shipped from the factory till September. So sometime late September or October will probably be more likely to take, so. So I'll
Okay.
give that update.
Great, thank you. Okay, fiscal officer.
All right, our general fund ending balance through July 31st is $522,246. Our monthly revenue for July was $52,607 versus expenses of $63,674 for a net deficit for the month of $11,067. Expenditures exceeded expectations mainly due to the timing of payments to Axon for our body camera equipment. Our July 2025 revenue was $52,607 versus $53,871 in July of 2024. Income tax for the month was $44,568 gross versus $45,076 last July. At current rates of revenue and expenditures, we are estimating a surplus for the general fund this year of approximately $145,000. Other significant fund activity and miscellaneous, we made our biannual payment for our OWDA sanitary sewer loan in the amount of $7,086.95. That comes out of Fund 3901. There was no other significant payments in our other governmental funds for the month. And we issued 4 deposit refunds totaling $400 out of Fund 9901. Our agreed upon procedure audit by Charles Harris and Associates has been completed, and there were no significant findings or corrections recommended by the auditors.
Okay, great, thank you.
The deficit with the Axon, when we get the reimbursement from them?
I'll follow up tomorrow.
Right, so we'll get a reimbursement for that at some point, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Done my two follow up tomorrow.
so taking that out, we basically were even for the month.
Okay, thank you. Next, chief.
Won't make it all long and drawn out, so. A lot over the last couple of months, this month we had 239 calls for service. We had another training session here with VR, virtual reality. We had Eastlake join us, University Circle and University Hospitals all participated in the training. Got a lot of great feedback from Chief Tom Wetzel. Loved the training. Was actually trying to steal the training. So he actually said, anything you guys have, send my way. I'd love to send officers, and we're so kind of working a little bit more, communicating on cell phones now, a little bit more than we were before.
Cause he's what, Metro, no, University?
University Circle.
Yeah, coming from him, that's a lot to say, huh?
Yes.
I know, he's really respected.
Do we,
Absolutely. So he was impressed with it. So
Oh, wow.
officers loved
I'm
it.
impressed that he was impressed. Go ahead. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Eastlake was very happy with the training as well. They were impressed that they were able to take part in it.
is that a free training for us?
Yep.
So we just pass it on, or do we charge other communities?
This time it's free.
Okay.
So we're just trying to continue to build that relationship with everybody in Lake Town.
Will it continue to be free because you had specialized trainers here, right?
Yeah, those were free. Everything was free.
Okay.
We're trying to get another Axon class here. Probably will not be till the spring. For master instructors as well.
Okay.
Probably won't be till spring. So a couple more things we're working on right now. I actually talked to someone within the village. I'm not gonna mention his name yet. So, but he works with a company called North Coast Polytechnical. They were a big training firm back in the day. And Apata kind of changed a few things around, so they've kind of cut back. I talked to the owner personally. He goes, I'm getting up there in age, don't really want to do it as much. So I reached out to someone that lives in the village that has it in with them. He's like, well, his son's gonna take over. So we really started talking about next year, and what happens is any type of training that we hold here, we'll get 1 or 2 spots or to send our own officers, which is huge because it's $600 to $1,000 per training class.
Right.
So
We hosted, other municipalities or police departments pay for it, and then we get free for hosting
Yeah,
it.
2 free spots, so it works out wonderful, especially because it's daytime. So we're working on that for next year, so I have a wish list of things I want to do. So we have a prime location, and, even Axon loved our environment. We got a lot of feedback from departments all around how wonderful it was to be here, so we're working on that. So we'll continue to do that. We had an Old Lake audit, this year, just a couple weeks ago. So Old Lake comes in to audit everything that we have. They were impressed that it was about a 30-minute audit. They're like, your stuff is all in order, we're good to go. So they said, it's nice change, refreshing, overpass.
That used to be a fearful word.
Correct.
Thank you, chief.
So it was.
Thank you.
Sticker on the books. So everything has to be in order. We sent a boatload of policies to the safety director and both solicitors. So all the policies have been adjusted with someone with experience versus, let's just say, non-experience. So once those are approved, we'll issue them out to all the officers. We'll do it through Lexical, which is free for us. They acknowledge it. And so it's a way for us to really make sure everybody knows what the policies are. So we have that to protect the village as well. Body cameras are working wonderfully. They are outstanding, images. We actually have to schedule a 4-hour in-depth trainings, virtual training with Axon, but they are phenomenal. I mean, I was watching them the other day and it was perfectly clear. You're actually doing also link for our 2 solicitors that they can access that for their trials. So they can just log on, we'll send them a file, they can download it and share it with the defense attorneys or what have you, because we get a lot of those requests now and we're doing thumb drives and or discs to give it to them. So I can't say enough about it. It's a great tool to have because you can't really dispute what's on the body camera. So it's, I'm all for it. Let's see what else. Also, we're working on with Mr. O'Leary to get our old evidence and destruction order for that, so we get the old evidence destructed. We're also working on getting that forfeited money out of our evidence room and into our account. And now we're gonna have a new one. It's gonna be the motorcycle, which we're gonna figure out how we have to auction that motorcycle off. We should have the title done this week. It should be in the village's name this week. So the motorcycle will be in the village's name.
I still like putting the decal on it.
Yeah, I know. I tried offering a few officers, and actually some of them actually wanted, I go, it's not happening.
Krebs said he'd do it.
I know, he would in a Harley, he drives a Harley too. So
Yeah.
I go, if it was a Harley, I'd put it, I'd be on it myself. So, one of the ways is if we, I know you have to auction it off. A lot of the government sites don't really bring a lot of money.
Yeah.
So if you use a public auction, which, we have to figure out how we can do this, if we can do it through like Facebook and announce it and have a public auction for that, we might be able to generate anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 on that motorcycle, which would be a big surplus for us on that.
Does sheriff help with like sheriff sales? Don't they sell a lot of surplus property and houses, or is that same kind of low revenue because it's?
Theirs is not as bad, so theirs is not as bad, but if you try to put like GovX and some other sites out there, or Gov Deals, there's not. I mean, they'll put them at $1 bid and $500. Well,
We could set up, what you call it, right?
Muni bids. There's a few out there that are out there that
Put a reserve on it.
Reserve that
yeah,
way.
you could do a reserve, but there's not a whole lot out there. If we open it to the general public, I think we'll get a lot more. We can hold an auction here. We can have them submit electronic auctions. As long as we follow the letter of law, I think that's going to be the best way we can do it so that we can generate the most amount of revenue for that motorcycle.
Yeah.
But he took a plea deal on that motorcycle, turned it over, and he's spending 30 days in jail over a pursuit.
And thanks to Officer Cubes on his diligence.
Correct,
in
yeah,
terms of hunting it down.
Oh yeah, they hunted it down, and we continue to do our due diligence. There's a lot of things that we keep learning on a regular basis. Just like I said, the out-of-state warrant, that was a whole new thing. I actually had to call Indiana on Monday, talk to them. They actually faxed the warrant over,
Oh, no
and
kidding.
believe it or not, sent the warrant over now. So they're going to extradite this individual back to Indiana. So it's a continuing learning process.
You hold them in the Painesville jail in the meantime, or?
Yeah, they go to the sheriff's jail. We drop them off and have a great day. So, so we're really working on that. We're cleaning up our warrants too, which is fortunate. We've actually stopped a few people with our own warrants that failed to pay and taken them back to jail on our own warrants. So we're trying to make sure everybody's paying. If they get a citation, they're going to pay those tickets. A lot of involvement from our officers for Night Out Against Crime. They went to that. Family Fun Days, they loved it. They're already talking about ideas of what they want to do. We're doing trunk or treat as well this year. So, we're getting a lot of positive feedback. Like Menor was blown away that we were out there. Painesville was blown away that we were out there. We're representing. So we get a lot of training opportunities too through the sheriff's department. We're taking advantage of every single training that we can. We have
Trunk or treat will be here.
I'm not sure where it's going to be. We don't know exactly where it's going to be, but we're going to be giving out candy as well through the police department as well. So we'll be doing something on that. Actually, I just sent a text message to remind myself and everybody else. I'm like,
Last year they did one at the Captain's
I think
Stadium.
they usually
that's
just.
yeah,
they usually
do
it
it.
at the
And
Captain's
Timberlake
Field.
was not there.
Yeah, we will be there.
Okay.
So we'll have our table with our tablecloth. We will be there giving out candy. So we're going to do also shopping, shop with the cop. We're going to do that as well. Contemplate, even though I'm not a beard guy. We may do No Shave November with raise some funds as well. My wife said if I grow a beard, I gotta grow my hair out, which I'm not sure I want to do either one. So,
I can't.
right, I might be all gray, but we'll see on that one. I got some time to think about that. So really continuing to try to develop this department and really trying to push forward for training. And that's what we're really doing. We have a range this Friday in Cleveland that we're running into, also free range for us. We're just using our own ammo that we have. So we have another one in November, and then we're gonna have a whole department training here for use of force and everything else within the hall. So we'll have all of our officers certified on baton, taser, and OC and use of force, so we can sign up on all of our policies and procedures that way. So really just, I mean, we're continuing to dig out of this, the hole for many
I love
years.
the text updates, you know,
Oh.
seeing the picture of Simone there with his Batman cup. I thought that was great.
You know, it was funny because I talked to the VR guys and I said, you know who that is, right? And so we started talking, I go, his history, and he goes, there was a scenario and it was pretty interesting because, you know, each officer, you get to play out the scenario however you want it. So they laughed and the guy goes, man, you could tell your experience because you did certain things differently than everybody else. But for Simone, they said, yeah, he smoked the guy so fast it wasn't even funny. They said that was probably one of the fastest time he shot someone. I called Jim up and I go, so you shot him that fast? And he's like, he had a gun. I didn't care. And I go, even at his age, you know, so we always have a sense of, you know, he has such a sense of humor. So
Yeah.
I was trying to look to see who was working tonight because I gotta make sure I leave cake in there. Because, you know, that's his, that's
Part of his compensation
yeah,
and
it's part of his
benefits.
exactly.
Keep him
So,
around.
you know, it's, you know, we have our setbacks every now and then, but yet we continue to move forward. I think we're making the right progress. I think people are seeing the vision where I'm trying to go with the department, and I think I have a lot of officers buying into it and really trying to be aboard. And you know, and that's when we recruit, and when I recruit, I look specifically for things that will help the village out.
Yeah.
So, you know, we continue to try to do that as often as we can. I've had officers come up and say, hey, if I can sign up for my own class and not charge, you know, the village doesn't have to pay for anything, will you approve it? I go, send away. You know, I'll sign up on anything. You know, if you want to take training and it helps, bring it back to the department. So that's one of the things I always challenge them to do is if they go to training, bring it back to the department and teach us. Let us learn something new. So continue to build the relationships with departments. You know, that's what we're working on, you know, in not only in Lake County, but Cuyahoga County. So,
I also love the fact that you have so many on the staff now, even though they're all part-time. That you are able to sort of deploy them to various community events.
Yep.
Without affecting the ability to serve the village. It's so,
We have a boy.
it's just so refreshing to, you know, we just couldn't be in a better place from where we were. I
And
mean,
on,
just-
on budget and don't need to
Yeah.
utilize overtime to the
Yeah.
extreme.
and that's what we're trying to do is like, I actually had to adjust the schedule because of course I had a lapse of judgment, but for late Memorial Day or Labor Day weekend, I'm actually kind of overlapping some shifts. So I have a couple officers on for the peak time. God forbid anything happens, I have the people out there. So, you know, again, I'm trying to give them some flexibility yet, you know, to do discretion. I kind of lit a fire under everybody this past week. You know, I said, let's just get a little bit more involvement, less time in the station, more involvement out of the community, you know, with residents, Lakeshore, make sure everybody knows who we are and where we are. So, and one last thing I'll say is we're waiting on, which was coming up later on about the laptop for the new MDT for the car. Once that's in, then the car will be finished built. So it's actually going to be, believe it or not, built at East Lake Fire Department. They're actually loaning us the opportunity to put the car in there so the crew can come out there and build our new car out there.
We have an ordinance that doesn't allow you to work on cars in your.
Right, I saw that. Yeah, thank God, because I don't want to get in trouble, so.
You'd have to arrest yourself.
Right, I have a motorcycle without a license plate, so I'm really in trouble.
I like all of them.
Right, so that's all I have report. Like I said, I you know, I appreciate everyone's support. I mean, it truly is. I mean, officers, it's funny when we talk, we'll bring someone in for an interview and you'll hear people spiel as how much the community loves us. And, you know, I always tell them, I go, it's no joke. I said, we're loved by all. And I always bring up our free coffee maker that we have that is utilized all the time. So thank you. I love that coffee maker. We use it all the time. So we appreciate it. But thank you again for the support.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, zoning and property maintenance, Gary Gray's not here, but he said there were 2 fence permits, 4 roofing permits, 1 driveway permit, 1 garage permit, a deck permit, and 1 waterproofing permit. That was it for the month. Next, move on to purchases and approvals. Do I have a motion to approve the June 2025 financial reports? Mrs. Meyer makes a motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Joyce seconds. Any discussion on it? Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce, Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. A motion to approve the July 2025 financial reports, please.
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Thompson makes a motion.
Second.
Mr. Conrad seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, I have a motion to approve the purchase of a G-Tech laptop from Spacebound Solutions for the new police vehicle in the amount of $5,207.
So moved.
Mrs. Joyce makes the motion.
Second.
Mrs. Mara seconds. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, the motion to approve the purchase of ammo from Keisler Police Supply in the amount of $947.24.
Make a motion.
Mrs. Mara makes a motion. Do I have a second? Mrs. Joyce seconds. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the purchase of surveillance equipment from ETCA Services in an amount not to exceed $5,000? Mrs. Mara makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Joyce seconds. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Oh,
What, the comment?
Yeah, could that be explained?
Yeah, we actually, I can forward the email. They actually have all the zones where they would put cameras. There's gonna be a camera shooting towards the beach. There's gonna be one at the playground. We can actually shoot one down the hill also. So we went through this whole thing. We can actually do one, and we can put one by the beach if we really want to shoot one all the way down the beach. So they actually have it custom tailored. I'll forward everybody the email with the layout. We spent about an hour and a half walking around, looking where we can put stuff. So we have a kind of double right now where our cameras are in the front. We need to move them around so that we can get the whole front of the property as well, and the back and everything else. So
But beach is so important to me because, people say, so-and-so was there, so-and-so was there, and maybe they were, but it was a very short amount of time. I mean, we exaggerate, like there's a big down there, and then sometimes there's a problem down there, and I can't get down there fast enough to see if it was.
we can shoot the camera directly down there. They can
Yeah.
attach it to the pole, shoot down if we want it that way, or we can just shoot to the gate to see who's at the gate. Yep, so we can see it that way. So, it's updating the whole system that we have now with the top of the line cameras and a bigger NVR that records everything. Yes. And so we can put it, I'll forward everybody the email, but he had all the drawings and they took pictures of everything where it needs to go. So spent a lot of time going through it. And what the nice part is, it's real link. Everything is controlled within the house. The only monthly fee we're going to pay for is for if any cameras that have to be mounted, that they'd be shooting down the hill, you need a Wi-Fi on there. So you have to buy the internet on those cameras. So that's the only thing you would pay. And it's like, I think $49 a year or something to that extent.
For the playground, or if
Yep.
we added one to and if we added one to the beach, that would also be.
Yep. No, that one he talked about running a wire underground, then kind of run it up the pole.
Okay.
So that way we get a true power over Ethernet. And then the one that, he was looking at the power sources, but if we wanted to shoot down the hill into the park down there, it'd have to be a Wi-Fi.
If it was just on a pole in the park, so you could see people coming or going, but wasn't actually shooting down the hill, would that be?
I think it's still gonna be because of how far we are away. And I'd have to look back at that, and he'll answer a ton of.
We have
questions.
power there, that's the only reason I was
Right.
asking. It's
It's-
a power thing, but it's got a link to the network.
And so, we can do, the one was to make sure we get the new playground and then one as well to shoot down as well, down in the area. So we can custom tailor, you can add, change, remove. He's more than willing to come out here. I've actually used him before. He does all my cameras. I've never had a problem, so I recommend him.
That was an excuse why we couldn't get a camera on that lab in here in Philadelphia, so thank you for not saying it was such a big deal.
It's not- I walked him out there. I go, can you shoot a camera down the beach, down the steps? He's like, absolutely. And I'm like, okay.
Like,
I thought it was a big deal. Reality's a big deal and just forget it. I'm like, well, because I can't get down there fast enough, and people tell me there's a complaint. Like I'm not
You need
watching.
to stop going to complaints, especially.
Right.
He's just a party Nancy. 90-pound Nancy's gonna get herself in some trouble.
likewise, I like the idea of having one at the park too. Over the last couple of years, we've been having issues with kids from
Yep.
outside of the village, which I'm not saying they shouldn't be allowed at our park, but they shouldn't be vandalizing our park.
Right. Or 2 o'clock in the morning, they're dealing with
Right.
stuff like that.
So
And
that's
and
great.
why I think it's a great idea. And I said, let's shoot them different ways. I said, and I'll send everybody the email because he's got it laid out,
Right.
diagrams and everything else.
So are these recorded and live feed?
Both, yes.
And would you guys be able to get them live feed in the squad car as well?
So we'd probably put it to the phone. We could probably put
And
the
so-
app onto the new computer.
Yeah, because that would be convenient if you got a guy out on, Lake Shore, but he can still get feed access to the beach or the park. If there's a complaint, you can just like bring it up and
Oh,
see what's.
absolutely. Because I always, it's the same system I use for mine, and I personally like it because I can pull up my cameras anytime I want, and I can see my live feed. I
Yeah.
can do that. So always. Only bad thing is about 2 o'clock in the morning, I got a spider that likes to screw around. And he drops down, and I'm like, pet, and I look at him like, yeah, you stupid spider.
You also know what you're getting yourself into when you respond before responding. to it.
Absolutely. But if we're catching that, and recording that,
Yeah.
it's a great tool. I mean, I'm sorry, but there's just too much liability.
Sure.
And for us, I think as a village, I think it's time to upgrade the system.
Yeah.
And when I saw, we're doing a new playground, I don't want to lose a new playground. At least if we have a camera there and someone does something, now we can prosecute them for that.
When that was
So
the
it's not-
problem
Yeah.
with the ones, they left trash and
Yeah,
stuff, we
ugh.
could never get them in time or
Yeah,
have
I've been
records.
waiting for it to happen this year. It hasn't been as bad, but
Last year,
yeah,
that
at least
was
that
not
would
a-
have some recourse.
Right, and towards the back, what it was, he looked at it on top of the little gazebo over there, you can actually put a metal bar up and then shoot down that way. So he went through the whole process, using telephone poles, doing all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, not my.
So we don't have a problem with storage? Like,
Nope. So it's,
be allowed to
Uh-huh.
store it, sit out.
so you get to like a 2 gig NVR, which automatically downloads it.
Okay.
Plus for if they're wireless, then they have cards on there,
Okay.
and then they secure for like about 30 days. So,
And self-wipes, I assume, right, just on a loop.
Yep.
So you gotta get it within 30 days or it's.
yep. So it's basically, if if something happened, you can go back to that incident to try to see it. I have one that, I took a spill on my steps the one day. And so I had to download it for my daughter so she could laugh over and over and over. So it's a good comedy error. So but it's crystal clear, and so I think it's a great thing to have.
Great, awesome.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce, Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick, Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad, Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Okay, moving on to the second portion of our public comment. Please.
Like, take a number, Debbie, take a number.
But you were serious and I thought.
Coming at it, really.
Oh, we're done. Yeah, I just have a couple of questions. And one comment. I'm getting 10 trees. Sent to me I don't know, this week, next week, sometime soon. Just because I joined some society. Audubon Society, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyhow, is that it?
could be.
Yeah, so I contributed to them and they're gonna send me 10 trees, so look forward to planting those, hopefully.
Are you gonna plant them in your yard? Is that the plan?
No,
No? Oh,
no, I like my grass. I have enough trees.
do you know what kind of trees?
Trees.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes,
That's right, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what's.
What kind of trees? Deb?
No, but they said they are,
Indigenous,
who?
they're based in this area.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So do you don't know what kind exactly?
No,
No?
but
Okay.
they know. I mean, they know,
Yeah,
you know, what belongs here, so.
Yeah, places that came down to replace.
possibly.
Think about,
Thinking about.
Well, no, I'm even thinking about like in the median where we took that one tree down, round out the stump. You want another one there?
You can't put it in the same spot, but we'll find
Yeah,
it out.
but,
But not far, yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
And they'd be small, I would imagine, probably not a whole lot bigger than,
yeah, they didn't say how big they were, but I have a couple in my yard growing that I'm donating also.
okay.
I'm just waiting for.
I still have one in my backyard. You
Yeah.
gotta get.
We're not taking that 40 foot.
When is this arborist moving in the village?
Exactly.
And August.
Do just
Next-
wait for
yeah,
him,
this
he can
month.
plant 'em.
Yeah, there you go.
He doesn't cut them, but he plants them, right?
He loves trees, right?
Tree plants.
Here,
The
here's
arborist
the
works.
arborist. He can help us plan it, where to put them.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Okay,
There you go.
Get 'em
Yeah.
involved.
Needs to know where the
I-
pipes are underneath, you know, the sewers and
Nominal.
stuff.
As long as it's the lowest.
which makes,
what else you got?
makes it feel like
Um,
small, they say nominal.
did we have a lot of officers leave? Is that why we hired so many more?
We had a few leave, not a lot leave, a few leave.
Not because of us.
No, no,
Okay, okay.
greener pastures, allegedly.
And more money.
Sure that-
Still don't pay. Enough. So,
And that surveillance equipment?
Okay.
There isn't a portable one, is there? So that we could keep
You can
surveillance
clip
on
it
a
on
house?
Bailey and he can walk with it on him.
That would be more of a legality issue that Mr. Gadakis probably wouldn't.
No, I was thinking, you know, if you wanted to keep an eye on a certain car, it wasn't supposed to be driving around.
They do sell, which is, it's a system called Flock. So basically any plates that are registered with like protection orders, warrants, driving under suspension. If we put a camera, which actually what we talked about would possibly be also added to that as well. That we would get a hit into the police car if we saw certain things driving down. It's used all throughout everywhere, but depending on which system you use is the cost. A lot of times the cost is prohibitive for us to know to be able to run that. It would be a significant amount of money. And unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot of land where we can catch that car very quickly. Right? That's where the other issue becomes.
Same ones that like police cruisers and say the city of Mentor have them off the back
Yep.
because there is no legality of license plate. It's public knowledge, right?
Correct.
It's visible by normal eye. You're allowed to run them.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that was it.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. If anyone has anything else in closing, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Mr. Karen makes a motion, Mrs. Joyce seconds, roll call please.
Mr. Joyce,
Hi.
Mrs. Joyce, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Meeting's adjourned. Our next meeting will be, regular meeting will be September 16th at 6:30. Thank you. Have a good night.
There's cake in the kitchen.
There's cake in the kitchen. Heard that.